Hi, this is Janet with Try It Like It Created, and today I am sharing the process for making a magnolia flower out of leather. I started this project at a recent trade show. It was sponsored by Silver Creek Leathers, and these flower shapes were given to us, and we dampened them and molded them. And then here I am painting them. I wasn't able to finish the project at the show. I had to leave for another event. And so I packed everything up and brought it home. And here I am going to go ahead and finish the flower. So we're doing 2 light coats of paint on both sides of the petals that were die cut out for us in advance. And so I'm just showing you here how to paint the pieces, and this is the first layer of paint for this piece. So just to repeat the process of what we did in the workshop, was we dampened the leather, and then we were able to shape it once it's in a damp state. And once it dries permanently, after you have put it in the shape that you want it to be in, it will stay that way. It's still flexible and you can move the leather, but it will go back to that shape. And so here I am just using a leaf to show you how you can mold things. For the flowers, we did them by hand, and then we also curved them around a ping pong ball, so you can manipulate the leather with a lot of different tools and a lot of different items that you have just around your house. And we also marked on the leather to put in some veining for the flowers, and so I'm going to do that here with the leaf. And we just used a little ball tool, using one that I picked up at the Dollar Tree, to show you. And it was this is very similar to what we used in the classroom. So just by pushing down on the leather while it's damp, it puts in a mark, and that mark stays put. And as you paint, you want that mark to still show, so that's why you're going to use thin coats of paint over the top surface so that you can see your markings in the leather. This is the center part of the flower that we had molded in class, and to paint it you have to unroll it. And so here I am just giving it its first coat of yellow, and then we were told to roll it up after the first coat, and then work on the second coat when it's in its rolled up form. Just to let you know that as you paint leather, it is rather absorbent. The leather is rather absorbent, and so the first layer takes quite a bit more paint than the second layer. And so what I'm doing here is I am actually using acrylic paint from Silver Creek Leathers, and adding just a bit of water to make it more fluid, and painting on the first layer, just to let you know that the second layer of paint goes on a lot easier, quicker, and uses less paint because you've now sealed that surface of the leather. So you will use a lot less paint on your second layer. So here's the centerpiece rolled up and ready to put the structure of the flower together, and I'm going to do so with hot glue. Many times you may see instructions on putting flowers together, and they have used some stitching to sew it together, and that is definitely something that you can do with leather. For this tutorial, we were using hot glue in the classroom, so that's how I'm going to finish this project. So here I'm deciding which layer goes first, though the 2 large petaled pieces for the flower are exactly the same piece, and we just stagger the petals and put them in place. So here I'm putting on the hot glue and putting the petals in place, and then the third layer is smaller and does have a little bit more shape to it. and that creates the center of the flower. So here I'm just checking to make sure that the glue is holding everything in place before I move on to the next layer. So here is the final layer of the Magnolia Flower. I'm going to glue it down in place and still try to give it a little bit more closure to that piece so it has some more dimension to it. So you continually see me kind of holding that top piece of the petals more in a closed shape, and really whether it's closed or open, it's entirely up to you what you want your flower to look like, and just depends on how far in its bloom you want to duplicate in your flower. So gluing on the centerpiece, I'm adding the hot glue to the piece itself here, and then I will place it into the center of the flower. And then the last bit is just the leaf that was painted and dried, and you'll notice that when we get to the leaf that it has a little bit more color to it. I used my finger actually to rub some darker colored paint onto the leaf. The white flower pieces off camera, I also gave them a little bit of spritz with some mica spray that I've made my own, and so I just gave it a little spritz on each petal before assembling it all together, so that there is a very slight sheen and a very slight mica shine to the flowers.